Last couple of quick things. You mentioned processed food, and you seem to come to the defense of processed food
Yes.
over the past couple of weeks, and I think you caught a few people off guard. But unpack that for me. What's your, what are you thinking?
Yeah, so as you know, I'm the editor of Trends in Food Science and Technology, which is the number one food science journal, scientific journal in the world. And I have the pleasure to receive manuscripts every day from around the world. So as editor, I have to either desk reject or send them over to reviewers. And I received a manuscript about 6 months ago on how we classify processed foods, and read the manuscript, fell in love with it. But of course, I'm just the editor. I can't really say, let's publish this as soon as possible. I have to send it to reviewers, and reviewers, blind reviewers, actually just loved it as well. And so the paper itself is going to come out in Trends in 2 or 3 weeks. So, and I actually shared a draft with Sylvie. She has a copy of it, and the study itself, it's a meta-analysis of how we classify processed foods, and at the end of the day, the group of authors have realized that there's a lot of confusion out there, for one, and secondly, there seems to be this notion that industrial practices will define the nutritional value of food products. So if it's processed, it means it's bad, essentially, which is not the case at all. There's
Like
plenty.
a stigma. It's like
That's right.
it's
I
like
mean,
stigmatization, right? Yeah, yeah.
exactly. It's like cooking at home. I mean, cooking is processing. Some people actually cook good food, and some people cook not so good food. I mean, that's basically it. And so, what the group of authors suggests is to focus more on the outcome, on how, on the nutritional value of food products, regardless what goes on in the food industry at all. And so changing the narrative a little bit, and it was a bit of it's a bit of an audacious study, but very timely,
Yeah, yeah.
and processors will like it because they've been trying to provide some great food to Canadians, but they've been clobbered by judgmental evaluations sometimes coming from policymakers, but academics also. I mean, some of them have been very judgmental towards processed foods or ultra processed foods. The food guide actually mentions it, and so I think it's time for a pause and rethink this essentially.